Hello, everybody. Welcome to Silent Podcast, a place for everything but silent. I'm your host Isaiah, and we're back to talk BB27 Week 10. We have a very packed panel today, but of course, we have a very special guest in the building, winner of last season, Chelsea. Chelsea, what's going on?
What's up, y'all? I'm so excited to be back. We're gonna have a good conversation.
Absolutely, we got a crazy double eviction to cover, so a whole lot of opinions and everything. Of course, regular panel. Katie's back in the building. Katie, what's going on?
Not much. We got a lot to talk about. Crazy week, crazy double, back-to-back Vince HOHs, my nightmare. So much to talk about.
All right, we also got Josi. Josi, what's up?
I am so excited to be here. Shout out to Willow Pill on Twitter for adding me. Yes, my draft did take a big hit last night. I lost 2 people, which was crazy.
Wait, you had Ava and or you had Lauren and Kelly?
I have Vince. I had Jimmy, Vince, Lauren, and Kelly. Those were the 4 I had.
We'll have one left, right?
Yeah, I had some main characters on my draft, so I took a big hit yesterday, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm in the stages of grief, and I'm at acceptance, so it's fine.
Then we also got Janelle. Janelle, what's up?
Hey, I am excited. I'm just happy my girls survived the double. That's all I cared about. Chelsea, or I'm sorry, Ashley
survived the double too. That's right. Those are correct stats.
So I'm excited.
All right. If you're new here or you're watching at a later time that's not live, of course, like, comment, subscribe. And if you're listening on our audios, 5 stars only. If you're interested in trying out for Silent Podcast as well, like I said last time, in the description down below, there's an interest form. You can please fill it out if you are even semi-curious about how it works. So please fill it out. But we have a whole lot to get through. Chelsea, first time talking to you this season. How do you feel about everything that's going on? How do you feel about last night? How do you feel about the season in general?
So, I wore my janky hat for a reason, because that's just how I'm feeling about the season. It's just a little jank, and not necessarily production, but I'm just talking about the gameplay. If I'm looking at that, I'm like, what is going on? I've never been so confused the entire season with multiple players. So that is, and with our final 5 left, I'm trying to sit here and think who is about to get this crown, and will America be happy about it? So it's an interesting week, but what I can say is it's still entertaining this far out. Usually we kind of know who's winning, and we don't really have a great gauge on that right now. So I'm liking what I see.
I fully agree. And also, Chelsea, I don't know why I keep forgetting to do this before we go live. You can jump in whenever, by the way. We just talk.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I completely feel that. This season has been so random. I feel like it's kind of been hard to gauge, who's really the front runner, who's really going to do this. But I kind of like that this way. This isn't the most talented, strategically sound cast, but it's brought a lot of chaos. So it was growing on me, and then it dipped obviously because of the twist, and it's growing back on me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't hate who we have left, but we'll get into that later. Josi, how do you feel about everything?
It's rough. It's hard because usually I'm really rooting for someone, outside of the obligations of my draft. I'm rooting for someone, and I'm I want them to win. And I just feel like I'm not really rooting for anyone. I'm kind of just what will be. Because I think every player that's left has a lot to work on a strategic level. And I'm concerned about the choices they will make with the people they want to sit with at the end, or if they have the abilities to do it. So it's been a rough season overall. I'm just kind of here for the ride at this point. What will be. And I think whoever wins the season will definitely be a representation of what that season embodies. Whether I'll like it or not is to be seen. So
there you go. Janelle, you feel the same way? Because obviously there was a whole lot of movement with the double eviction last night. Were you satisfied with the outcome?
Yes. I agree with everything the ladies have said thus far. The gameplay has just been lacking. The strategy is questionable, and we're often sitting here what are these people doing, right? But the people that I enjoy most out of the chaos are still there. Like I said, Morgan and Ashley, I enjoy them most. I would love to see one of the 2 of them take it home, and that's what I'm hoping happens.
Katie. So last time we talked, I remember you said that I'm still gonna watch the show. You were really annoyed though. I feel like my feed has been full of just like Vince and Morgan like soap opera. I don't know if that's the same thing on Blue Sky, but on Twitter
yes.
that's what it looks like.
Oh,
so
yes.
so how do you feel about all the nonsense right now?
Listen, I made my thoughts on Vince specifically very clear last week, and I cannot wait until we get to the rankings because I will be doing a lot of I told you so's from the conversation we had last week. But the Vorgan show is the only show there is to watch. There's only Vorgan. If one of them leaves, the show is over and there's nothing worth watching. I mean, we only have a few days left, so that's fine. But I have a lot of things to say about Morgan's game specifically and her back-to-back HOHs because she ran the show. But Vince is a whole other story. I'm very interested though to see how this disaster plays out. There's theories even today about conversations they had in the HOH room that no one really knows what they're talking about that seemed outside of game. So it's like a game in itself between the two of those that we're watching play out on the feeds.
Were you guys really annoyed at the zings? Because, like, why was this whole relationship stuff placed on Morgan? Why was that not Vince's zing? Why is it always her? Go look at him. I was so annoyed by that. Like, zing him about this.
Most people were annoyed by it. And I was just I've never seen anybody mid Zingbot segment start violently cutting pizza. It was just a sight to see. I was like, what did DiGiorno do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was the most insane. She got so mad at that, but I do think they should have put some of that heat on Vince.
Yeah.
I feel like it's representative though of how they view Morgan, because even her comic had nothing to do with like the game she's playing or anything like that. Like it was Morg and it was something related to OTEV, which she didn't even win. So I just feel like they don't really have an idea of who Morgan is as someone to like poke fun of, like to a degree, or like to highlight weirdly. And so I feel like that's the only thing they could grasp on, unfortunately. But I do think there was other material.
Yeah, and that's classic. I feel like that's classic them. Like they seem to gravitate towards the most random things to pick at with these people. That's consistent Big Brother, in my opinion.
I think it's unfortunate because obviously Morgan's in the house and she can't refute any of the narratives out there too that are being said about her, especially by the casual audience. Because if you only see what's on the show, the show is doing Vince a lot of favors in my mind because they're not showing a lot of what's happening on the feeds and the real true dynamic of their relationship. And I feel like when I'm watching them, I am seeing Morgan often and almost always pivoting back toward game. And Vince is the one who's making very personal, talking about outside. This is bigger than the game. You're bigger than the game. And she always brings it back to the game. Whether there's stuff below it, fine, maybe, who knows. But I don't feel like we're getting that edit on the show. And I think it's unfortunate that she can't even defend herself and that the show isn't really giving her the true edit of how their dynamic actually is in the house. Like, especially when they show conversations of Keanu saying like, oh, she's obsessed with you, bro. She's hugging you. It's like he's doing that just as much, if not more, than she is. So it's just like, why are they continuing to just like show the negative comments towards her when Vince is the one in a 7-year relationship that he's disregarding and she is not?
Right. I completely agree. And you guys know I have my little, well, they're pretty big, but like Facebook fan groups, lots of casuals among them, and they are not Morgan fans. Like, and I completely agree with you, Katie. It's this edit and how she's being portrayed. And they kiss every inch of Keanu's butt cheeks, like every single inch of it. They love that man. So it's really frustrating for her. And I feel sorry for her already for when she comes out of here. And I know the extra press is going to be filled with Vince. And it should
that's going to bother her because these comments are bothering her as they would bother anybody. Right. So I think I worry for her and what she's going to face when she gets out of the house, especially depending on what happens at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the rare times where I feel like a Zingbot comment actually does shake something in the house. Usually I feel like they've like watered down over the years, but like this actually, it seems like left an impact. Sorry about that. Anyway,
Zingbot was savage this time.
Yeah, which is rare. Okay, so we are going to hop in to our ranking system. If this is your first time watching, we just basically rank all the players from like who's doing the best, who's doing the worst. Shouldn't last that long this time. There's not a lot of people left, so I'm not expecting a 2-hour conversation like we usually do. Obviously,
Don't tempt me with a good time.
We know Isaiah every time says Isaiah gives us a curfew every week.
So basically where we left off last week, we had Morgan at the top and we had Kelly at the bottom. But as of last night, Kelly was eliminated, and what was it, Lauren? Yeah, Lauren was eliminated. Real quick, how do we feel about that? Kelly and Lauren being the boots with the people that were next to them. How do you guys feel about that?
Bye.
I'm wondering. Sorry.
I just don't think Keanu should have. I think Keanu should have been the vote out, to be honest with you. I was surprised by the reaction, y'all having like bottle service Kelly eviction party is wild to me personally. But hey, to each their own, do what you want with your money. Hey, but I thought it was crazy that Kelly was the vote. Like these people know the jury so far. They know Rachel, they know Will. Like, it should have been their prerogative to send out Keanu. Rachel literally told Keanu, don't disappoint me. And it's not like it's not a known fact. This is something that we have seen them talk about in feeds. So they have an understanding that Rachel is willing to root for and vote for Keanu. I think also Kelly has no social capital. The jury wouldn't vote for her. She wouldn't really make anything shake. We've seen other people beat her in competitions before. Keanu should have been the vote out, and I'm surprised that they did that. And I lived for Kelly's exit. I was laughing.
Did you hear
I
that laugh
appreciate
track?
that.
I was laughing with them. I
Yep.
was enjoying myself. My mom, who like casually watches, she was having a grand old time behind me at the dinner table. Like it was fun. It was camp. So, I think she was never gonna win, to be honest. But it was a mistake to vote her out over Keanu. We don't know if we'll get that chance again.
Listen, you gotta. Towards the end of this game, we see it starts to get the season hour was already comp heavy, but it starts to really get down to who can win competitions. And this is, I think Morgan had influence with Keanu staying amongst others, but she keeps using this narrative. If he's out, I won't have a shield. Baby, final 5, final 6, nobody has a shield. Everybody's fending for themselves. You got to win your way to the end or be in alliance with somebody who's going to win their way to the end. So then this is a move that you make when there's 10, 11, 12 people still in the house, and it gets down to they both can compete somewhat well, but who do we like more? That's like late. But when we're this late in the game, it's like a Tucker situation. You might not get another opportunity. So if he is on the block, you get him out because you might not get another chance. They, I think, royally screwed up with this one.
I'm so glad you said the shield comment too, Chelsea. Sorry, Janelle, you go.
I feel like that was the first time he's been eligible to be voted out, and they let the man stay.
Both of them.
Like, I was just like, are you kidding me, you guys? And if he is her demise, it's what she gets. Like, because he's on the block. If he gets that veto, like Morgan, and then it's final 4. And if he beats you again, like, you're done. Like, I can't believe they kept the man in the game. Can't believe it.
And we might as well just start with Keanu, then we'll go back to Ava after this because it seems like this is a Keanu combo. I will say, for what the twist was and how the season is mapping out, I do want to give Keanu like a lot of credit because I do think, as much as it was a misvote, I do think there was some element of like Keanu will vote with us versus like Kelly wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like she's kind of like out there, and I do want to credit like. There is some relation, I feel like, with what was it, like Morgan and like Ashley. I feel like that there's some sort of inroad. Obviously, they put him on the block. The guy still won a comp. I know these comps are equitable now. I've been saying this for a couple weeks now, but I feel like he has a real shot of still winning the season. And the biggest scare that everyone had coming into here is like, if you leave him here for long enough, if you give him the opportunity to comp out to the end, he might do it. You know what I'm saying? And right now, there's a realistic shot that he could do it. I don't know how it looks if he's sitting next to like a Ashley or a Morgan, because like I don't really know who he wants to sit next to right now. Keanu kind of just does
It ain't
Keanu.
Morgan.
It's
It ain't
Vince.
Morgan.
Well,
You think
maybe not.
so?
Vince.
Maybe
That's
not
why I'm like,
anymore.
I don't know.
Maybe not
I don't
anymore.
know.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think Keanu gets mad. Here's the thing. It's like Rachel and Vince. He'll get mad at them. They'll bicker or whatever. And then he's back to it. Like that's one thing about Keanu that's consistent is his inconsistency, but he always goes back. It's the circle over and over and over and over. Like, yeah, he can be mad at Vince, but he already has this perception of Vince anyways, right? Like Morgan's doing his moves. He was talking to himself before the live HOH about how Morgan has to go, right? And so I don't know, the way he talks about and with these other house guests, it seems that Vince is the favorite despite the moves and the things that he does against Keanu every time.
I would just be so unhappy with a Keanu win. It's just I would. This season has been so competition heavy. They haven't had the traditional Big Brother mechanisms to get people like him out. Like they haven't been able to backdoor him. He's been saving himself with the veto. Like I just don't want to see it, mainly because he's so bad in the social strategic part of the game. I just don't like it. Like I don't want to see a person like him win. I like him. I would love to meet him at a watch party. I bet you he's a great time and I think he's genuinely a nice person. But the game he's played, he's just been tragic. Like time after time he runs into the same brick wall. Like I could believe. But him saying, "Oh, nobody's going to put me up." Keanu, what? What do you mean nobody's going to put you up? They put you up the whole season. Like you do legitimately think that. He's just so incredibly frustrating to me and so tragic in every other part of Big Brother that I like, that I do not want this man to win. Like not anybody, but I don't want Keanu to win for that reason.
But if Keanu wins, again, it's a representation of the season, right? Like
You're right.
The same thing.
we have literally made this social strategy game, into a competition, like a comp heavy related game. That is the flaw of the season. If Keanu wins, granted, I also do not want Keanu to win. But if he does win, I kind of have to sit there and go, well, it's the results of this ecosystem that was created. And a heavy hand of it was the competitions, which is unfortunate. Like they could have backdoored him weeks ago, but they took away the backdoor when they put that back blockbuster. So
But again,
fair, I do think we could be having the same conversation a little bit about Kelly. She won more blockbusters than Keanu did. He only won 3. She won 5. Like 5 blockbusters Kelly won. Granted, I know in the conversation in the house was she can't win an HOH or veto, but she came in second place multiple times. You can't count anybody out. You don't know what the comps are going to be. And I think the only reason I don't think it's a misvote, just to go back to a couple of minutes ago to what we were saying, is because Kelly, Ava, and Lauren were locked in. And if you're Morgan, if you're Vince, if you're Ashley, those people will never come to your side. And Keanu is malleable a little bit. He needs allies. He'll make inroads with people. He'll turn against other people when he needs to. And those 3 wouldn't. So I do actually think Kelly was probably the right move, because she would have never taken any of them to the end if she was able to get there, where Keanu, maybe, you never really know. Even yesterday he was saying he thinks he could beat Ashley. And to just talk about like the comp part of the season so far, I think it's unfortunate for a player like Ashley, who one is not getting any praise on the show whatsoever. Even though her DRs are strategic, we're not actually seeing any of the campaigning and the moves that she's making behind the scenes to rally for votes for herself and try and, change the trajectory of the game. And she's very strategic and she's doing a really great job. But I unfortunately don't think she has an opportunity to get the jury votes, because the jury votes are full of people like Kelly, who don't respect games like that, who don't really understand the game. And even, Rachel in some of her exit press was saying Ashley would have to win a comp to be able to make decisions in the season. And Dr. Will didn't win any comps and he won the season. So, I mean, it's just unfortunate because it doesn't feel like this season and the format of the show is made for a player like Ashley and it's made for a player like Keanu. So Josi, to your point, it feels like Keanu is like the picture perfect winner for this season, like encapsulates what this season has been so far and the level of gameplay. Not that I'm rooting for it.
Oh, sorry. Chelsea, what do you think of like players like Keanu versus more strategic players? Like, do you have a particular type that you like or you gravitate towards or you respect more or like more?
It depends on their story arc. So I like my ideal winner is somebody who could win and who is strategic. I just feel like somebody who represents the entirety of Big Brother. If they won, then you walk around like that was Big Brother played. But you also respect like the Taylors, who did not have a great social game, but she started from the bottom and had to fight her way to the top. And then you respect a Derek whose primary way of getting to the end was his social game. So it really just depends on the person's the cards that they were dealt and how they chose to deal them out. So it could be a comp heavy person or it could be a social, gamer. It just depends on their story arc. But I don't think Keanu's so bad socially.
So bad.
And he has such a bad read of the game. If he had like an understanding of the game and won his way to the end, I think he'd have more respect. But he's so delusional in his head about this game. It frustrates me. It really frustrates me. So I don't know. This season is the most unorthodox playing Big Brother I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've been watching for years.
So with all that being said, we still have him at the bottom of D, right? Is it Josi? I'm gonna start with you. Is there a strong sense of where you want to put him? Should he stay there? Should he raise up or should he drop down, Josi? How do you feel about Keanu?
It could stay there. His game has not evolved at all. He is still delusional. He's still relying on comps, and no one wants to take him to the end. Like, I simply cannot raise him. For what? Above who? Exactly.
Wait, are we rating this based off of like who we think is winning at the end?
It's like a mesh of things. It's like you got winning
like ability.
Win equity. Some people are a little emotional. I'm not gonna lie with that.
Okay,
whatever.
But
who are you referring to?
I'm gonna say win equity. I'm gonna say win equity. I'm gonna say strategic, like how the current standing within the house, and then like their realistic chances of getting eliminated. So it's a little bit of everything. It really honestly depends on the person. We're not really picky. It brings the conversation.
I am ranking him from the week we just had to like everything embodied. Like he has played, honestly, he could be an F, but the fact that he keeps winning is the only thing that's keeping him above. And the fact that he has a vote in Rachel, which still boggles my mind because he's been plotting her demise. Alas, we move. That's why he's in D.
Yeah, I feel like I've stated my opinion on Keanu and my detest for his game overall. I'm leaving him where he's at.
Katie.
I'm fine leaving him here as well. I mean, even just watching I don't know if you guys watched any of the HOH comp last night, but he's like, I just should have just asked for this comp a million years ago just to get some one-on-one time with you, bro. And I'm like, Vince hates you, dude. He hates you. It's so obvious he hates you. And then he's like today crying about being a nom. And he's like, Vince, you're going to lose my vote in the jury because you fucked me over again. I'm like, he has fucked you over every single week that you've been in this house. Like, I just do not understand how you cannot read what's in front of your face. Like, it's so obvious. He's wild to me, but he's entertaining. And I do think if he gets to the end, he has a story. And I think we could see votes going against that story. I'm fine to leave him where he is, though. I don't think he should be above maybe one of these people, but we'll get there when we get there.
Do we have a confirm for the noms, by the way?
Yes, It's Ava and Keanu.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And I was rooting for him to win the veto yesterday. I don't know if you all were either, but
no,
I was rooting for him.
I was. Chelsea, how about you? How you feel?
I'd have him at a D. I don't think he's done anything to improve. I think even how he played this last comp, I wouldn't even have him on the board. Like, is there an option for them to just their picture not be here? I give that to multiple players. Now I keep him at a D, only because he has, based on who's left and it's getting comp heavy, he's winning them. He has ability to keep rising, so we'll keep him where he's at right now.
Chelsea, were you talking about the HOH comp, how he performed in that?
Yeah, because at the end he was getting real, just like he was on the wall, where he was kind of playing around, getting a little too comfortable. Yes. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? It happened already on the wall. You didn't learn your lesson. So he was getting goofy at the end, like, oh, they need to put dodgeball on the screen. And they just, talking mess. And then he drops it. So with that, I don't think he deserves to be on this board at all, but we're being generous today.
That comp was a mess, by the way.
Honestly, that was his comp to win. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I felt like that comp was built for him to win. The fact that the sword, it's not even comparable to your season actually with Janky, because the sword was heavy, like extremely heavy.
It's like
to
they made it
remove
on purpose for him
time.
to win.
Yes.
So it was so built for Keanu, and he was just being careless. Like this whole season. This is why keep him in D, please.
There you
I
go.
actually saw that people who were in the audience yesterday were saying that production or whoever was around from the show in the live audience were saying like, oh, this comp's gonna go all night. We're so excited. So like multiple people in the audience were online saying like they expected it to go very long. It was a waste of time.
I'm crying.
What I
Alright.
was reading, I fell asleep. I tried, but I was reading, and Ashley and Ava were complaining about how heavy it was.
Yeah, they were saying
And it looked
their
like-
arms were sore and they were like shaking.
Yes, and it looks
Ooh.
like Keanu was even saying like, I can't believe they held it up. Why would they do that? Take a page out of Survivor's book. Like, they make the weights a percentage of everybody's weight. How is
You're asking too
Correct.
much, Janelle.
Your body weight.
They're not doing that.
But how are Ashley and Ava supposed to have a chance in an upper body strength competition? I don't get it. Like, it's very
Even then, I think what we saw with people raising their foot when it took too long, like there are ways to overcome length of time by adding
Yes.
struggle that wasn't related to weight. Like you have to put your feet up the entire time, or
We
there was just
invented
no-
that our last season. We gave a
Mhm.
playbook. This is how to expedite the game, because going 9 hours is crazy, but go at least a good 4 or 5. Yeah, they could have made a difficulty in this game that was equitable for everybody.
Yeah.
The weight was a little bit, the heavy stick was a little bit much.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on because we have been on Keanu for a while. Like I said, curfew. All right. Next, Janelle, how do you feel about Ava's performance last night?
What
She was
performance?
just there. Yeah, like she wasn't involved in it, seemingly in anything. She was there sitting on the block trying to save Lauren and Kelly. Like, I think that if Keanu wins and gets off the block, she has a great chance of going home this week. And I heard them talking, like Morgan and Vince don't intend to take Ava to the final 3. They intend to take Ashley if they have their way. So Ava's fine where she's at to me. I don't care if she'd be behind Keanu, because at least she would stay next to him. But she's not doing a lot, in my opinion. She's too nonchalant for me. It's always, frankly, I don't really care. Why don't you care? This is
It
her thing.
is what it is.
Why is it? It is what it is, Ava. Come on, at least try. Sometimes she's just frustrating to me in that way. But it's been almost 70-something days. Maybe she's just exhausted.
Do we have any other strong Ava opinions? I know that there was a big thing last week where, it felt like she was too worried about America's favorite player than actually like winning the game.
Still
You
is.
know, Katie,
What a
how do you feel about
delusional view of yourself to think that you're relevant enough in a season with Rachel and someone like a Keanu. Like, you should understand just by even being in the house that like this man is dominating the storyline of the show. Like, who even are you and what have you done? You had one HOH and you ate with the HOH, like it was good, but that was a really long time ago, and then you've just been sleeping the entire time, and now all you're doing with your free time is talking shit about Rachel. Like, why? You had her nom speech when Vince put her up was like the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen on television. Like, it was up there with top 3 at least. That putting the pawn in her shirt, I was like, I can't even look at the TV right now. So she could say enough.
No,
I mean, the only thing that I would add about Ava is simply the fact that she has the possibility of being, like, for lack of a better word, the GOAT of the season, someone people just bring to final 2 because they know that she could win, which would secure her a second place bag, which is still a bag. But she doesn't even utilize that. Like, she's not even utilizing that. Like, all of your allies have gone home. You know what it's like to not have anything. Go to the, like, if this is people's dreams, if you know that you have nothing to lose, then do something. Passiveness this season has been absolutely insane to me. Like, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. Why are we sitting here so idly by? Like, Ava's appearance on the show is like the equivalent to me of like Wendy Williams on The Masked Singer, like just singing about being a native New Yorker and like adds literally nothing. Like it's just it happened. We will remember it, Ava Pearl, but that's it. Like it's almost like a meme, and we move on. Like that's what the equivalent. At least Wendy Williams got me to laugh. Like come on now. Like anyways, F.
So yeah, she's staying in F. Yep.
There you go. Yeah, I wasn't too impressed with everything yesterday. Not only being the prime vote, that was kind of like it felt like she was out the loop yesterday. But even like when she was on the block, and I'm pretty convinced that she thought she was going home. It was so convincing, I almost thought that she was going to go home for a second. Like, I feel like she really is out of the in crowd here, and she really needs to do some major work, or at least I don't even know what to do at this point. It's so late in the game, but she needs to do something to change
she
her,
gave up. Like she doesn't even want
Yeah.
to. She's not in the in crowd because she doesn't put in any work. She sleeps all day. Like that's all she does. She doesn't participate in anything. Even in her DRs last night, she was saying like, I need to win this veto to secure my safety. And then she's like, I didn't even do it. And Morgan took me off and I didn't even do it for myself. It's like, you have to do something for yourself. And she does absolutely nothing. So I just don't know why, Josie, to your point, like, why are you just giving up and settling for AFP when you have less of a chance at AFP than you do to even win the game? Truthfully.
Also, it was very close with Morgan and Ashley early on in the season, which is what boggles my mind. It's like, what, like, how'd you lose that? Like, you literally don't have a phone left. You don't have a phone. There's literally nothing else to do but to talk to people and connect with them. It's very easy, mama. Like, yes, you want a nap. Everybody wants a nap, but come on. Like, again, you're talking about this bag. Fight for the bag. It's not gonna come to you. Like, oh, enough.
Josie, I think she started putting her eggs in the Kelly Lauren basket. You know, they made, what was it, the Power?
And look what happened. Double homicide.
We
gotta move on.
But
we gotta move on.
She did. I think she let that relationship go and didn't foster that like she needed to. And started putting eggs elsewhere. And it's not, I don't think it's gonna work out for her.
No, I think Will was really the connective tissue, it felt like, between that group. At least between Ashley and Ava. And once Will left, it's like she just gave up and went all in on whatever that was.
There you go. All right. So it looks like she's staying in F. Let's move on. All right. So Chelsea, what is your opinions on Ashley's game right now?
She's not in a bad position. I think what gained a lot of respect for me when it comes to her is her ability to stay over Will. Being on the block this late in the game, she has one competition win in her belt, but I do feel like in order for her to win this game, she has to win another competition. But listen, like Morgan and Vinny aren't going after her necessarily. She has a good relationship with Ava, and I think with Keanu, he'd start to look at Ava and maybe even a Morgan. So I feel like she's in a position where she's not anybody's number one target to get out. And if she could win one more comp, I think she could have a case at the end. So I would move her up to a C.
There you go.
Okay.
Does anyone how do you feel about that, Janelle?
I mean, you guys know I love Ashley. I'm the emotional one here, Chelsea. That there's
okay.
He's talking about all of us. No, I think he's talking about all of us.
Myself included. We all be tripping.
But yeah, I love Ashley. I think that what Josie was saying earlier, or Katie was saying earlier about people are not going to see her game or respect her game on that jury. But she's been so aware of what's happening. She's been working with Morgan and Vince. Morgan has repeatedly kept her safe and off that block over and over again. She wasn't going to go up on Vince's HOH because Morgan controlled it. Like, she's been able to make relationships, foster relationships, like this, like be a key person in steering Morgan and what she would like to do. So I think Ashley has such a great strategic game that unfortunately I don't think it's going to get overshadowed by people that like Morgan, rightfully so, and Keanu. But I love her. I hope that she can get another win and gain some respect from because even Will wanted Ava over Ashley, which blew my mind. As much game as he has talked with Ashley, and know of what she's been involved in and the conversations that she's had and the information that she shared with him seems miles above anything Ava did with Will. You know what I mean? I was shocked by that. So I think I agree with Chelsie. I think she needs another win, and I hope she can get it in one more scenario. Like, I saw chatter online of what if Ashley would win the veto and then take Ava down, so Morgan has to go up and then vote her out. I don't know if Ashley would do that. She said if she's at the end with like her and Vince, if it were her choice, she's choosing Morgan if she thinks she can't win either way, because she would rather have her win than somebody else. But I don't know if she would pull the trigger on a move like that.
I actually think that would be a bad move for her game.
Yeah.
At this point. I don't think now for her is the time to make an enemy out of Morgan when Vince is in power. Like, put the two of them next to each other, maybe, so they're forced to continue working with you. But I think that just severs a very important ally for her at this point in the game, where like next week, if she doesn't win, whoever wins Final Four veto, they would get rid of her right away. Where now I don't think she's really in much danger of leaving. I think it would be probably a mistake to make that move at 5. Do it at 4, or figure it out in the final 3 if you have any decision-making power there. But like right now, it's just such a delicate situation. It feels like next week or whenever it is, because I know the schedule's weird. And everybody's so vulnerable that I just feel like that would put a bad taste in everybody's mouth, and she would be like the one going next week if she doesn't win the veto.
Gotcha.
I'm actually with Chelsie here. I actually agree that I would actually raise her up to a C.
Me too.
Because I was worried a while ago when we lost Will and Rachel, and I was kind of like, all right, what is her options? I do feel like we're at a point now where outside of like maybe Ava, I can see Keanu, Morgan, and Vince being like, why are we going to like want to sit next to one of these other people, right? Where like, why not sit next to Ashley versus a Vince or Morgan or a Keanu? That being said, like outside of Vince, like there's some like realistic chances here. I can see Ava wanting to sit next to an Ashley. I could even see like a Morgan wanting to sit next to Ashley. Keanu, I don't know.
Keanu did say he wanted to because he thinks he can beat her.
Good. So basically everybody but Vince at this point, I feel like, has a realistic shot at wanting to sit next to her. I don't know if that means that she's kind of like the GOAT in theory, because they don't think that she could win. And perception is reality. We don't know how the jury is truly feeling. You know, we know what they say in the moment, but what are they saying when they're all congregated in a group? I don't know. You know, so again, like she really needs like to like really hit home at a finale if she were to get there. But I do think raising her up is definitely just because her chances of getting to the end has heightened tremendously since last week. So I will put her in the C. How do you feel, Josie?
Yeah,
it's hard because I feel like Ava, Ashley, and Keanu have very stagnant games, to be honest. Like nothing is really shaking, and everyone else around them, which is Vince and Morgan, is a lot of this. And so it's very two extremes, and it's really hard for me to like think about what the jury cares for, because I feel like there isn't really good strategy, to be honest. I have been saying the same thing about Ashley for weeks now, is that she needs to get power because she has no social capital in terms of making influence. I think this week, the only reason I could see that debate right is her really trying to make Morgan focus on evicting Lauren when the time comes, because Morgan did go a little bit back and forth, which wasn't shown on the episode. Like they made it seem like Morgan had her mind made up. No, she did go back and forth. And Ashley was very like, no, we are doing this, we need to do this move. But I don't know if that's enough to say, well, I deserve to be the winner of the season, right? Like she does have a good story about being on the like the first target on the week and things like that. But I don't want people to then go, okay, is it really because of you, or is it because other people were bigger targets in front of you? So that's my issue with Ashley. Like I think she is a good player. I think she's intelligent, but she hasn't had the opportunity to do anything. And that's why it's hard for me to be like, yes, Ashley to me is a good pick to win. But it's easy because we know everything. We've seen everything. Yeah. We've seen the dynamics, and we can justify it. And also there's a little bit of personal bias that goes into it. Like, who doesn't want another Black woman to win? I definitely want another Black woman to win. Right. But I'm just saying, like, being realistic with what we've seen in the house, if we're trying to be real, there's not a resume. There's not a resume to sit there and be like, here is why I deserve to win. And that's why it's hard for me to raise her up, because like, if we were just going off the fact like who is the most strategic in the house, of course she'd be up there. But in terms of like winning or doing anything like actionable items and saying this was Ashley's move, it's just not there. That's the issue.
Yeah,
I'm
I
hoping
agree.
that she can win something either next week or one of the final 2 HOHs and really have something where she can make a decision and cut someone big at the right time and then own that. And that can be like, she told us, right, in her cam talk, like, I'm playing dumb this whole time. And as soon as jury comes, I'm turning it on. I think, unfortunately, jury started very late. So it gave her a very limited window to actually turn it on. So I hope over the next, like, however many days we have left, she can make a big move, but the time is running out.
Yeah.
And she's against some comp beasts in there, so I really don't know.
Yeah.
You know, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I want to highlight this comment, right? Because we're doing Taylor comparisons. The reason why to me it's just not the same. It's an interesting name. The reason why I don't think it's the same is because Taylor's adversity is very different than Ashley's. Like, Ashley's kind of been in the majority alliance of the judges for a bit now. Like, it's not like her hands were tied or that she was on the block every single week.
Mhm.
Like, Taylor's story is just not comparable to Ashley. Like, Ashley makes common sense. Like, when she justifies her thoughts and she thinks about the layout of the house, it is always accurate. It is just that she simply hasn't done anything with that information enough to credit that and be her move.
Yeah.
I do think that the end speech is important 100%, but like, Taylor put in work, and then the end speech just like, it just solidified the doubters. I'm not saying that Ashley can't do a speech, but like, depending on who she's sitting against, like, the speech can only do so much. Like, I feel like sometimes the jury comes in already ready to know who they want to vote for, and the speech just solidifies it. Like,
and that's why I feel like if Ashley's there, depending on who she's sitting next to, you have Rachel in the jury, and Rachel could, if Ashley gets her way to the final 2, especially if she won a comp, I am finding some way, if I'm Rachel, to help influence the jury to win. Ashley was on Rachel's side. I truly think whoever Rachel wants to win this game will win this game.
I think so
jury is
too.
going to follow whatever she says. She's going to have the most influence, and they're going to fold under Rachel in the jury house. Period. Even if they came into the jury house with one thing, I think their minds are going to change when they start to have conversations. And if Ashley's there at the end, depending on who she's next to, I think Rachel's going to put in some work.
I hope so, because like, I just feel like I've seen all the conversations, and the way I feel like that she's had influence on the direction that things have gone when her allies were in power, but that's hard to see. So I hope you're right.
We'll
There
see.
you go.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm okay raising her, to be honest, to see.
That's fine. I agree.
All right. Josie,
Majority
out of voted.
Hey, who said I was against it? I'm neutral.
No,
on it,
no,
to be
no,
honest.
I just think, look
I
at the
get
2 losers she's in between.
I am-
and like, she is way above
Hey,
from, like, you know,
I'm
she's
gonna be
got the
so
game
for real.
sense.
I'm very neutral, because Vince is a whole other argument. Like, she could have stayed or been raised. All I know is that man is gonna be below her, so it doesn't really.
The next person, Katie. So,
Oh, I can't start again on Vince. I said my piece.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been doing it on
No,
purpose.
I need you too, Katie. Go.
I know you do it
my
right.
victory
Yeah,
lap
we'll go
of
Josie,
last
we'll go
week, because
Josie.
I
I feel
told you
bad.
all that Vince was one of the worst Big Brother players of all time. And at that point, he didn't put Lauren up, but guess what he did? He ended up putting her up. Granted, she didn't go home, but she would have been going home if she was on the block yesterday. Like, this man is an embarrassment to the game of Big Brother. I'm sorry. Like, I can't watch him without like my body cringing inside of itself. I can't stand him. Like I said, he is entertaining though. I will give him that because of like just the mess that we're getting with him and Morgan. But like, I just don't understand what goes on in this man's head. And he's like, he truly is a horrendous Big Brother player. He's horrendous. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I've said,
Chansey, I'm not tripping. He's horrendous.
Well, listen.
He's horrendous.
He's horrendous. Like, I can't. Morgan has worked this man into submission every single decision, like every single decision. Because I said it, I don't know why I said it, but the week that when he put Lauren up, I was like, he's not going to do that. Like, but I should have
I knew he was
I
gonna
said
do
the
it.
same thing when Chelsea got Mackenzie to put up Leah. I was like, Mackenzie's not going to. But there we go. It's just it's for me, it's the whining, and the Morgan made me do it, and it's just so pathetic, and he's constantly handing over every decision that he makes to Morgan. He's like, I only did it because she told me to. That's what he's telling everybody at every turn. He doesn't want to take any accountability. He lies about absolutely everything. He's just, I don't want to be mean, but I just find his style of play pathetic. Like, he does not stand on anything. He never stands on business. He's made choices in the game that benefit Morgan. And Morgan, not him, knocked out all the people that benefit him and benefited Morgan every single week. I don't understand like what he thinks he's doing. And then he does this self-deprecation that
This is what kills me the most.
What is this? Like, he does not have testicles. There's none.
Oh
There
my
are none. There's none.
Yo, Chelsea, we're so sorry about it. But continue. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's hilarious.
Just talk. We be yapping. Josie, I'm curious. Why she did it? Josie, I'm curious. Because it's actually fitting that Chelsea's here for this one. Do you see, even though, you know, with the criticisms, I know that you are one of the Vince champions, you know. I'm curious. Do we see a scenario?
Enjoy that title.
Where Vince is pulling a Steve Moses and cutting the person who's going to win, and like Steve did with Vanessa, or do we have a Mackenzie situation, and it's not Sean Mackenzie, a Mackenzie situation where so loyal to the person who he sees is his like second in command, he's working with Morgan the whole time, there's this fake showman's going on. Do you see Vince in a scenario where he picks who he sits next to, picking Morgan over everybody else?
I would like to first defend myself very quickly. I don't like the fact that you're calling me Vince's champion. I want to be very clear. I root for the people on my draft. I also root for people outside of my draft, but I have to legally, this is my job, and I'm giving you different perspectives. I'm giving you diversity, okay? So I'm not his champion. I would say I'm his
Defender.
Lawyer. I'm his lawyer. And I honestly want to quit the job.
He's not paying you enough.
I'm not being paid enough. Vince. Wow, sorry. I'm just thinking about Vince Crave that's underneath my tweets. Like, genuinely, I'm not a Vince defender, but it is the job that I'm dealt with. Honestly, his move should be to cut Morgan, but he is so concerned about the wrong things. Vince, everyone has said it out loud. They feel betrayed by you. Kelly has literally exited the house and said, me and Vince had a final 2. Me and Riley and Vince had this. Me and Adrian had this. And even though Kelly kind of knew what was up after the Adrian vote, which was like week 3 or week 2, the fact that we're even talking about him still is a bit wild. Week 3. She already knew what was up, right? That is the tone. This is a message that she is carrying it within her heart, and she's going to have to bring that to the jury. Whether or not the jury likes Kelly, I feel like it's the jury's responsibility to know everyone's game and then make a decision. This is the time where they can put all the puzzle pieces together and it can justify things. Like, Kelly might get in the jury house and find out about the judges, and then she might go, oh, okay, I understand why Vince did what he did. And vice versa. Oh, I can understand. But at the same time, keeping Morgan, who already seems like the puppet master behind your game, does not benefit you whatsoever. The rhetoric has been he is a self-interested player. From pre-jury until now, it has been he is self-interested. He does what's best for his game. He has no regard for his allies. And this week, putting up Lauren, despite that idea of being self-interested, goes against that narrative, because he can justify that and say, she's my final, I have a final 2 with her. I don't really care. I'm going to put Ashley up. That aligns with his story. But then not putting her up then kind of builds up Morgan and tears his game down. And I don't think he does any favors, because he then goes to other people and go, oh my God, like that was Morgan's move, or I'm such an idiot, and that. And he upplays her to other people all the time, that it literally does not benefit him at all. Like, it's very frustrating to watch, because there are things that are right, that are correct. Like, there are little things that I see that I'm like, oh, this can emulate so-and-so's game. But he does it in such a reckless manner, and with no, like, for lack of a better word, like swag to it, like a sauce to it, where it makes logical sense, and he can only build himself up. He tears himself down move after move after move, and it's so hard to defend, because in theory some of the decisions he's made, despite like the whining and the crying, are good moves. They are like if we're being for real, they are. But this week was abysmal, like abysmal. There should have been no reason for him to put up Lauren on the block. The fact that he did made absolutely no sense, and he's very lucky that she is a passive player, because if I was Lauren, I'm telling everybody how we have a final two. I'm making Morgan even more mad at you. I'm flipping the like, but she's passive, right? And that's the issue. He gets to get away with things because the caliber of the other players is not good, which is why he's been high so many times this season. Is because everyone else, Loki sucks. No offense. It's just being real. They don't have a game sense of the game. And so the fact that this move just happened is horrible, but the fact that I don't even think he's going to really get any repercussions is kind of the theme this season. Every move he's done has been horrible, and he gets really no consequences from it. I think the only consequence he'll get is when jury, if he sits in the final two, which is probably most likely, he will get no jury votes. That's genuinely what I think.
I think that's the biggest issue gameplay wise, regardless of how I feel about like watching him, is that exactly to your point, Josie, like fine if he's a self-interested player. And I said this a couple of weeks ago too, like if you want to be a rat and a villain and whatever, own it at least, and say like, yeah, talk to us on the camera and be like, yeah, whatever, I'm fucking everyone over, but like this is gonna be how I'm getting to the end. But he's not really doing that. And then instead of owning it to the people he's working with or talking to, he like just cries and blames someone else and says, I was forced to do it. And it's like, no one's going to respect that at the end of the day. Lauren is going to go into the jury saying that. Kelly's going to go into the jury saying that. If Keanu leaves this week, he's pissed at Vince. And he already said to Vince today, you're not getting this person's vote. You're not getting this person's vote. And if I go out this week, you're not getting my vote. And that's all that anybody else in the jury is going to need to hear. You need 4 votes, I think, to win. And that's already like 4 people that are not going to vote for him at the end. So I think he's just fine if he gets there. Fine if he's winning comps, whatever. But that doesn't win you the game at the end of the day when you're burning every single person and not owning a single part of it. Like, I don't even think in his goodbye messages he's really owning much of it. And then like to sit there and complain that Morgan did this to you, and all you have to do is say like, it's a bad move for me to put Lauren on the block. I know that she is coming for you. But like, you guys handle that on your own. Like, there's no chance of that happening. And it's a better move for me to put up Ashley. And like, we're not having the conversation. But instead, you're entertaining the conversation till 5 or 6 a.m. every single night, going back and forth, having the same exact conversation over and over and over again. It's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? To what end? I just don't understand it.
He shouldn't have given Morgan even an inch.
Not like an inch. He should have shut it down immediately.
He should have said, you know what? I understand that your perspective, but look, she literally used veto on me. No, he did not mention that.
Sorry.
Once. She is the only person who has used a veto on someone else aside from Morgan this past week. Mind you, she did it for Vince. Morgan did it despite Lauren. Like, that's what it was. So there was no reason, and that enough should have been no. But he that's his issue. He wants to people please. In a game of Big Brother, you cannot please everyone. You can't please the fans. You can't please everyone in the house. Like, just own it. Like, that's the issue. And to answer your initial question, Isaiah, should he backstab Morgan? Absolutely. If anything, he should be leaning into the fact that he's a villain, but he won't, because he doesn't want to be regarded as such. He does not want to be disliked. And that's the issue. You have played a dislikable game. And the fact that you can't lean into that, the fact that you can't own that, like you're not going to win because people are going to want answers. Like the jury is going to want to sit there and hear you be honest and truthful and transparent. And he is the type of player that I see be like, well, actually, and then people are going to be mad and not going to give him his vote. Like it could be.
Yeah. And those
a
final
bit-
two chairs, like I was just having this conversation earlier today. I feel like he's gonna be in those chairs and continue to lie. And those are the moments where you have to be you completely like honesty in that moment is where you win the game. This is what I did, this is why I did it. And I feel like he's going to lie or deflect his way to the final two, you know, that speech if he's in the final two. I don't see him having respect from the jury at all, no matter who he sits next to be. I mean, if that was ever a possibility, yes. Other than that, I think simply because of his likability or lack thereof, or him not being able to own quite literally anything, his decisions, his nothing is gonna bite him in the butt in the end.
Good.
I'm gonna go as far as saying I think he actually has like 0 win equity, and I feel like he has the potential.
No, I think
this
he can
point,
beat
Next to Ava?
I don't think, but there is a possibility right now with how bitter this cast is feeling, especially with the people left in the house, like Keanu, who I feel like he really needs for like a jury, like a person to like really back him, right? Or like a Morgan. Hypothetically speaking, if Morgan is not here in this game by finale night, Vince is going to have something to do with it, right? She would be livid if she was in the jury because of Vince of all people. I don't really know how Ashley or Ava's feeling. I just don't. Maybe 0% is extreme, but it is like the lowest of the low. And at this point, I really see like Ava being the only person that he could beat out of like the remaining 5. I guess is what I'm trying to say. That's not good if you ask me. I've been saying for weeks, I think Vince is really overrated, and it doesn't even have anything to do with the whole Morgan fiasco. I just think he's a very lucky player. I think that he's really benefited off a lot of these twists and off a lot of these misplays from a lot of the house. If you were going to like put Keanu up ultimately, and I felt the same way about Morgan's HOH, it's like, why not just vote her out at last round? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if you're Keanu is like such a loyal soldier, and I feel like it's such an easy person to either take to the end and potentially beat, or it's like if you're going to keep him here, don't keep stringing him along and pissing him off to eventually get voted out, and then you're going to just ruin your complete like connection with them going to a jury. So it's like I don't really see the win equity for Vince to win this game. Yes, he has like the resume. Yes, he has things that he could back up, but I just don't see a future unless he's sitting next to Ava somehow, and I don't think he's going to allow himself to sit next to Ava where he wins. I that's just me.
Even his resume is not that good. Who'd he get out? He got out.
Well, he won a lot of. First of all, he's
won 4 HOHs.
4 HOHs.
Oh, yes. Okay,
if he wins the final HOH, he will be tied for the most HOHs.
Yes.
I just want to this also aligns with a comment that's saying IDK y'all a little bit biased. I'm gonna be so for real, y'all. I have been defending this man. I have been defending this man since week 1. I urge you to listen to our other episodes if you haven't already, or to simply look up my Twitter. His game has been in theory very good. Like he kind of ran pre-jury, whether you like him or not. And I think he had it set up where if he would have just chilled out with winning the HOHs and let other people win, even if that meant him going on the block, kind of like the Mickey situation with Riley's HOH, right? Had she not used that power, she would have been on the block, but she would not have gone home. She would not have gone home because she had not upset people yet at that point. I think, oh my Lord, not that's my man. Put it down. I'm just saying that like his flaw is the fact that my fear is that he won't be able to take ownership. 2, he's been winning too many competitions, because had he sat down and let other people go after his allies, he could have been like, hey, I had no choice but to vote that way. Instead, he's making the decisions, taking no accountability for it, and that will be his harm.
Well, here's my thing to the bias thing. I'm going to be super consistent. I go off of previous history, right? Comps are great because I have seen Janzi in chat talk about the comps. Comps are amazing, beautiful. It's like a cherry on top, right? If we're going to look at the history of the last few final twos, I'm not going to be dragging any of these people. Mackenzie had a lot of comp wins, but they voted for who they respected and liked more, right? If we're going to go the season before that, Jag and Matt, that's a very interesting thing, but people really didn't care too much for Matt in comparison to Jag. If we're going to go the season before that, people did not care too much for Monty's game, and they actually respected Taylor as a person a lot more. If we're going to go the year before that, people liked Xavier more than Big D. If we're going to go before that, people liked Cody more than Enzo, despite a lot of the jury not really caring too much for Cody. I'm just saying it usually, at least in New Age Big Brother, has gone to who do we respect or like more. I'm just saying, and if it's a respect factor, I just don't see Vince getting a lot more respect than a Morgan, a Ashley, or a Keanu. Ava is up in there.
I think Keanu. I think Vince could beat Keanu. To be honest,
I don't know. It's going to be close.
I don't actually think so.
I think
Keanu could beat him.
I'm sorry. I think people have been hating on Keanu on a personal level from time. I know that Vince has not has screwed people over time and time again, but in terms of even like just likability, they would rather hang out with Vince than they would Keanu, like 100%, right? I think if Morgan is not feeling bitter, she will vote for Vince over Keanu. I think Ashley would do the same. Like Keanu almost went home this week because he upset Ashley over. Like there's just things like I feel like you at the end of the day, like. I think between the five of them, Vince being in the middle is exactly where he should be because I think he beats the other two, and I think he potentially loses to the two above him.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm just going off of I'm the king of unpopular opinions over here. Usually I'm the one that's in the bottom of a lot of these combos. But
yes,
I just don't see it. I don't see it for Vince. I personally would drop him to the bottom of D. That's just me though.
I actually would do. I would do the same.
Then we better put Keanu with him because I think he's above
the
Keanu,
bottom of D.
So.
Yeah, sure. Like it's apples and apples at this point. I just think that.
No, he's above Keanu. Wherever you put him after that, I don't care. But he's above Keanu. Like genuinely, like putting up Lauren is crazy, but he really suffered no repercussions because one, Kelly went out, which was one of his main targets. Two, Lauren goes out. She can't really be upset with him because it wasn't his HOH. Like it was a very dumb move. But in the scale of how this season is going, it's not that big. Like in a normal season, like where there's like strategy going on and like everyone's kind of and we're not ranking people at this bottom of the tier list. We have never, ever since we started this podcast, we've never ranked people this low at this point in the season. The fact that this is the state of the game, to me, obviously the move to put up Lauren is horrible, it's horrendous, it's abysmal, but he's still not below the two others. Like
I'm gonna say, realistically speaking, outside of maybe Morgan, who is taking him to the end right now?
Nobody.
I mean, to be honest, at the end of the day, Morgan is the one to go. Keanu is the target. The house.
That's not.
No. Here's why. Keanu is the house target. Just answer the
question first, though. Who is going to take
Isaiah? If you would let me finish, I will answer your question. Keanu is the house target. Morgan is also the house target, right? So if we're talking about people who need to go by the rules of the house, it would be Keanu and then it would be Morgan if they have the willpower to, right? So at that point, he's already above them in terms of possibilities. He's most likely to win. And also he could just comp out because he's won 2 HOHs back to back. 4 HOHs in a season where comps are so heavy and days. He's definitely beating a lot of these people in competition.
Well, here's the thing. I think one thing the jury is going to, with Kelly's exit speech, and I think when she goes to jury and has conversations, if he has 4 HOHs, right, gets to the final 2, I think the jury, if they are smart, they're going to ask how many of those HOHs did Morgan control? Because they all believe. Yes. So how are they really going to view his 4 HOHs as he was in positions of power and use that power for his advantage? No, he didn't. I think the jury is going to talk that. So I don't think his HOHs are a good enough reason because of how he ran them. And I think they're going to see he did stuff for Morgan, not him, and he'll lose respect because of that.
Yeah, I was going to say something.
The HOH comment was just because of the fact that I think he can win out to final two. Not that
got
he
you.
deserves to
I'm
win
with you.
because of
Got you.
the HOHs.
Got you.
I think if anything, he can bring himself to final two. I think Morgan is also a big competition. So yeah, while it's one person, it's a powerhouse duo who has won competition so far. So it's not something to be minimized. And also Keanu would take Vince to the final two.
Yeah, he would. Mm-hmm.
So
And
I
I
think
think
though with Vince and his HOH wins, like I see a lot of comments in the chat about like his 5 HOHs, 4 HOHs, whatever. The decisions that have come out of his HOHs have, in any normal season with normal people in the game who have a lick of common sense, would be poor decisions. And I have to believe that the people who have gone out on his HOH that go into the jury, or because of his HOH, we can include Lauren because she was burned even though she didn't go out, are going to all have conversations with each other. And exactly what Chelsie said, those were all moves for Morgan and not moves for Vince's game. Like, it's great that he's winning, cool, good for you, but what are you doing with those wins? They're all bad decisions. Where Keanu has comp wins, but he only has one HOH and he got Mickey out on his HOH, which everybody wanted, and it's like not a controversial decision. So if you compare those two together, like that, Keanu played a much better HOH than any of Vince's 3 so far. We'll see what happens with this one.
Yeah, and I think the repercussions, Josi said he hasn't like gotten repercussions for getting Lauren out. I think the repercussions are going to be no votes.
No,
you know what
yeah,
I mean? Like,
not yet. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to get any votes should he get to the end because of the decisions that he makes. I really hope that's the case.
All right. We've been on Vince for long enough. We're going to go down the line.
I'm
I'm voting to put him under Keanu. That's just me. Katie, where you at?
Move him down.
All right, that's 2. Josie, you said no, right?
if you want to physically move him, he should be above Keanu regardless. I don't care if he's an F, but he's definitely above Keanu. He's above Keanu.
You?
I'd move him behind Keanu.
We're in
Chelsea.
majority.
I'd move him. I'd keep him where he's at.
All right,
Exactly, Chelsea.
We got 3-2. He's
never this,
moving
sister.
down.
Never this,
Yeah.
sister.
Yeah.
We see each other.
There you go. Well, we'll see. It's literally picking hairs at this point, but there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Lastly, we have Morgan. Chelsea, how do you feel about Morgan's game? Because, you know, she has been playing good, right? But this past week also has been a mess. And I feel like Morgan, as with this cast, she has played as of right now like the better game and compared to a lot of these people, but I still feel like it's very messy. I feel like she's definitely, after Kelly's little speech, kind of being seen as like the person to beat. Do you think she should be raised? Should she be dropped down? What's her realistic chances of winning?
I put her at a B.
Okay.
I put her at a B. I think Kelly's awareness of Morgan's game is, it hurts her game, but I think from a jury, she could win her way to the end. And from a jury perspective, they'll appreciate that she manipulated, Vince. She got him to put up his other number one, Lauren. Like, I think they'll get, and she won. She's winning when she needs to win towards the second half of the game. So she's winning at the right time. And I think she should be bumped up to a B for sure.
I agree. I think Morgan is the one to beat at this point. Like,
Absolutely.
she has won exactly whenever she needed to, and she made the right moves every time. She won to save herself, which is super important. And then she forced Vince's hand into doing what she wanted. She didn't have to use the veto last week, but she put mental warfare onto this guy, which he enjoys, by the way. Clearly he's loving every second of it, otherwise he would have shut it down. Like, there's obviously something going on there that's for a therapist to figure out, not me. But like, she wore him down. He put up his other number one. Whether she went home or not didn't matter. They weakened the other side of the house. I was not working with them as part of that HOH. And then her double, I mean, she got Lauren out. That was her number one target. That's part of a story. I was a little nervous for her when she put Keanu up next to Lauren, because if Keanu didn't win that veto, then if she really wanted Lauren out, I didn't think they had the votes together. But like, she did the right thing. She put Ava up when Keanu won the veto. And like, she's going to run this HOH too. She's not going to be a nom. She should. She's a threat. And given Vince's history, he nominates his number one or someone he's working with every time. But I really don't think Morgan is going to face the same fate as his other allies, because like, obviously there's a different connection there. So I don't know. She's got a really, really good story. So I would definitely put her in a B. She's playing the best game in the house for sure.
Yeah, I want to see her. Like, she's my number one pick to win. And I think if Keanu goes this week, like, just give her the
She's
crown.
guaranteed 100%.
Right. Like, how's she not going to get there if
Yeah.
Keanu week. So, and
Yeah.
I love that. Like Lauren was like, if Morgan wants to be on the block and she wants to break my streak, she could win HOH and put me up, and she
Yeah,
promptly
and she
won,
did.
promptly put her up, and promptly sent her home. Like she's controlled Vince. She's gotten her way so much, and I like her, and I find listening to her and Vince like. Morgan is exhausting to me, like personally. Like when I like her, but listening to her, she can go round and round, and she's gonna keep going until she gets you to do what she wants you to do. And I just feel like I can't listen to this, but it works. So I'm really hoping to see her make it to those final 2 seats. I would love to see her take this win because I appreciate her game the most this season. Out of a crazy season with crazy strategy, hers is the game that I appreciate the most.
Josie.
Yeah, I like people who are in control of the game. Not necessarily needing competitions. If you win competitions, that's great. And she proved it. I've been seeing all season that Vince has been controlling the house. But the fact that she is controlling Vince, who then controls a little bit more of the house, and not to mention she also like does her own thing on the side with other people. It's not just her controlling Vince; it's more than that. I won't lower it or bring it to just that fact. I think she's carrying like that to me is a game winning. I was curious, how do people earn the win? Like, what's the big move, right? Like the big move was Rachel, but Rachel's now out of the equation. No one gets to take her out. How do you win the game? And it's by controlling it. And that is what Morgan is doing, because there is no big threat that has to go. In fact, she has done so well that she has become the threat to take out of the house. And my question then becomes, are they going to be able to do that? Vince won't do it for sure. He won't do it. If he does, like, I'll eat my words, because then give him the win, right? Like, who? Like,
I'd be
no
shocked.
offense,
I would be shocked.
if he does do it, I'll give him his 10s. But I don't think he will. Well,
you know,
it will be the move of the season. So you can't hate him for that. But alas, I don't think Vince will do it. So the only other person who I think will do it is Keanu. And then if Keanu takes out Morgan, is it like, damn, do I have to, you know what I mean? Like, she is the move because she is the one in control. She's controlling it. And for that, we have to stand. My frustration, though, in all honesty, is sometimes I feel like the motivation behind the moves is not entirely at the right place, right? Like
True.
the idea of wanting to get rid of Lauren makes sense for her, but it did not feel like I need to better my positioning in the house. It felt like I have to better my positioning in Vince's heart, which rubbed me the wrong way. It was very annoying because it's like, you really, and I've been saying this every week, decenter men always, you are that girl. You actually don't need him. Like, you actually don't. And I feel like it's being that's the issue. Her game is being boiled down to just Vince, right? So if Vince gets rid of her, then it's like she's more than that. And I just feel like we're not seeing any other dimensions because she's in his HOH room. Like, even the arguments feel so couple-esque. Like, I'm low-key getting PTSD. Like, when I was watching it, I was like, oh my God. Like, please, enough, please. It was exhausting. And I was like, Morgan, girl, just leave. Like, it felt like, oh my God, it was too much. It was a very frustrating experience, and I had to take a step back from watching feeds because it was a bit too much for me. But yeah, all in all, she is the front runner. I am just concerned. I hope she just clutches it out and keeps winning, because if she doesn't, she will be sent home, and it makes entirely sense to do so. So yeah.
Sorry, these questions are crazy. All right.
Yeah, I
actually agree. I agree, though. I will put Morgan. Is anyone against Morgan being raised? Is anyone against Morgan being raised to B?
Because I don't get the joke. No, I think she should be a B. I think, Josie, to your point, the only thing keeping her from an A, truly for me, is how much of a blind spot Vince is for her. Like, it's a bad move to take him to the end, and she will do it.
There you go. All right. With that being said, this is our week's ranking. We got Morgan, the second person to touch B tier this season. Morgan is now the top, and Ava is now at the bottom. So there you have it. And that is our podcast for the night. We do have one question that I thought was interesting, so I will ask you this. There's been a lot of questions. Chelsea, Mary wanted to know, who do you want to join the winners chat? Is the winners chat real, Chelsea? That's a big theory out there.
So the thing about winners, we don't share the secret. So I'm not gonna go talk to another winner about that. I've thought about it a lot. Who I would want to pass the crown off to, and I think like a person that I'd like to have it, not just because they're on my draft for BB Unlocked, but because compared to everybody else that's left, I'm like, please, Morgan. I would like to give it to Morgan. I want her to. I think she's worked hard, even though she might be running in circles. At least she's running. But where some of these players are dormant, and though she may have a blind spot in Vince, she's also controlling him. So give her the W, and I think I'd be proud to pass it off to her.
Chelsea, how has it been this season, like experiencing this season after you played the game? And I saw you say this is your first time really diving into the feed. Your commentary has been funny with the loud chewing. You're like, guys, I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
I live for the lives. Yeah.
I was like, I wish I would have watched before my season so I can be a little bit more cognizant of how, powerful live streams are. It's so... What I've learned post getting off the show, like the actual episodes throughout the week are very, very, very different than how the game is actually played. And the edit can either make or break you when it comes to a player. But also it's weird watching it back. It's weird. I'm like, I'm on the outside. And then when I go on set for BB Unlocked, I'm like, these jokers are really right in the building right behind me. So it's weird. It's weird being out. But I'm like, I'm so glad I'm not on this season. I'm so grateful that I was a Big Brother season 26. Thank God that's how I feel watching this. Oh, wait. It's exhausting.
You would have won again, though.
True.
Yes, bro.
So true.
Listen, if I know Rachel, Rachel is the reason my family started watching this show. If she was in that house, the moment she came downstairs, you already know I'd be getting to work, put her out the house. The fact that and I love her in real life, that's my girl. I love her family. I love her. But the fact that these jokers let her last long, I'm like, they don't know Big Brother. And I would have ran in that house. Good God Almighty. I couldn't imagine Vince living in the house with Vince and Maureen. No, I couldn't imagine that. I couldn't. Kelly bringing bugs in the house. Absolutely not.
What is happening with these people?
There's so many things that are wrong this season. I was just, oh my gosh. I would have gone crazy.
Yeah.
So anyways,
you just met James Gunn too. How was that? I was curious.
I'm
a Gunn fan.
James Gunn, I'm obsessed with. He is such a fan of the show. He's been watching since season 1. He was such a great addition to BB Unlocked tonight. He was the perfect person to end BB Unlocked with. I think if you're listening to this, go watch it. It's a great, great episode. They tap into the jury house, see what Rachel and Will are doing. But James Gunn, you're sitting next to an icon. So, and there's some, we kind of forced Big Brother on him and, incorporating Big Brother in some future films. So go ahead and watch how we kind of bullied him a little bit.
Nice.
I mean, that's a huge get.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
very famous. We were just talking about that before you joined us. That he's very famous.
Yeah.
Yes. And he was very invested in the show. So to see him and how he talked about the game was fascinating. So go take a look at the episode.
And then I guess one last question I had. So Amazing Race is coming up. How was that?
Oh.
Obviously without spoilers. Where are you excited for all that's coming out?
God, yeah, it comes out next Thursday. I am so very excited. The race was such an amazing experience and chaos. When you get a whole bunch of Big Brother players trying to race around the world, this, I believe, is an Emmy winning season. That's just what I'll say. Okay. So tune in. It is a hot, actual mess. I am sure we were probably the worst racers possible, but I think we were the most entertaining. So you're going to see the drama. You're going to see the stupidity. You're going to see the dumbassery. You're going to see all of it in our season. I'm excited. I got to do it with my dad and full circle moment. He was in my intro package of Big Brother. And then when I won the finale, they panned to him sobbing his eyes out. So I got the call for Amazing Race just 3 days after I got out the Big Brother house. So it was phenomenal doing it with while I was in it, I was like, I'm about to chop my dad's throat. But looking back, it was iconic. All that to say, watch Amazing Race season 37. It was a fun time. So season 38. I lied.
38. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
We're
Well,
covering it like every Monday.
yeah.
Oh,
We are
really?
going to
I'll have to
cover.
pop
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
Awesome.
We'd
Awesome.
love to have
Yeah.
you.
Of
We'll make
course.
that happen.
Yep.
All right, everybody, that's our podcast for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here or not, obviously follow our social medias, Silent Podcast, Silent_podcast. We are on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. Every little bit helps. And as well, like I said earlier, if you're listening on audio, 5 stars only. I did see Lily in the chat ask us to upload it. We'll make sure it is up. I got you. Chelsea, thank you so much for coming on. Amazing guest as always. Where can people find you?
Find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. What's the other one? X. All the things at Chelsie Baham.
There you go. All right. Janelle, how are you?
Yep, I'm just Janelle Michaud on everything, all socials that matter. I'm excited to cover the next season of Amazing Race. I love the show, so knowing everybody ahead of time, like I have so many teams I'm rooting for, rooting against. Like I cannot wait to see it all unfold. I'm also gonna hop on with the Reality Kingdom next week for after the premiere of the episode. So catch me on there too, and then us here every Monday, 6 o'clock.
There you go. All right. Josie, how about you?
Yeah, y'all can follow me on all social media that matters at JosianeXNM, JosianeXNM. I give y'all the spiel every week. What's up with me? I mean, reality TV is so back, y'all. It's fall. Amazing Race, I'll be watching. Survivor, Traders Canada. That cast is stacked. So I will be talking, I will be tweeting about all those things. So follow me on social media. And Blue Sky. I put a post up on Blue Sky recently. So I'm there.
All right, there you go. And Katie.
You know me, I'm the Blue Sky ambassador on this podcast. So come follow me at realsimkatie.bluesky.social. We have a lot of fun over there. Yeah, otherwise that's really it. I'll be back next week to maybe eat my words about how good Vince is at this game. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I'll be humble about it if it happens, but you know, I mean, I guess we won't really know till Sunday, but we'll have an idea of how it's all going to play out, and I'll admit when I'm wrong. So we'll see what happens next week.
All right. And lastly, you can find me at 8Ball Bangers and everything. Like I said earlier, if you are interested in doing Silent Podcast stuff, I'm looking at apps once Big Brother is over. We have a good amount of applications, but again, I'll give you guys like another week or two before we start interviewing people. So it is in the description. Apply if you're interested. As Janelle said, me, Janelle, and Sabrina are going to be covering Amazing Race. First time I'm covering Amazing Race. But
Hey, let's go.
That'll be fun. We got Chelsea. I talked to someone else. They want to come on. So we're gonna have a fun time doing Amazing Race this season. So make sure you guys are checking that out. And then again, if you are interested, Survivor people specifically audition. But until next week, have a good one, everybody. Bye.
Bye.